1,000 laughs over a weekend as swell. Vail Comedy Festival. Pet an alpaca or hike a trail.
Hey,
Memorial Day
welcome
weekend
back to,
in
live from the Vail Comedy Festival. I'm a very tired Mark Masters, and this is Sammy Anzer.
What's up, yo?
How you doing?
Great.
Good. It's Monday morning. It snowed overnight, which is crazy, but like not a lot. It's just enough to look really pretty.
Dramatic snow.
Yeah, and we had the closing night last night, and we're just gonna catch up with Sammy, get his thoughts on the festival, and learn a little bit more about him. So, you have a good time?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It was so much fun.
Nice. What was fun about it?
I think it was like a really cool sense of like, first of all, number one, the spots were fantastic. Bridge Street Bar is like the perfect place for comedy. It's got the low ceilings, the shows were packed, the audiences were hot. That's always what you're looking for in a festival. I mean, on the audience side and the comedian side.
Nice.
And then it was just like super fun. I feel like I made new friends like all over the country. Like we got to play like the Socially Twisted game. That was a lot of fun. We went out. I DJ'd last night.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Everyone was like, "Oh, are you a DJ?" I was like, "I've never done that before in my life."
You're like a hype man.
Yeah,
too.
yeah. And they were just like so surprised. I was just doing an impression of a DJ.
It was fun. Sammy brings the party.
I don't know if you heard. Did you hear me going, DJ no request, DJ no request? Like that's my tag name. And like people were still coming up to me and they were like requesting stuff. And then every time they would do that, I go, DJ no request, DJ no request.
Oh, that was fun. Tell me about some of the friends you made.
Ooh, that's really cool. So I think the first person that comes to mind, I would say, was damn, why am I spacing the name? I guess I didn't get.
Where's he from? Where's she from?
No, he's from New York.
Andre?
Yeah, Andre Mitchell.
Andre Mitchell.
Andre
Awesome.
Mitchell. He's a really cool dude.
Yeah,
He's like a
super
very
nice,
strong
very laid
comedian. Like got a sharp mind for it. The kind of person you just like want to be around, want to learn from, want to talk to.
Yeah, I agree. Who's your roommate?
Zach Peters from Alabama.
Zach Travis.
Zach Travis.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
why am I-
Zach Travis. It's the morning after the
Yeah,
the closing party. That's what's going on.
Yeah.
It's early. Oh man. Did you have any spots at venues other than Bridge Street Bar?
I love to think. Let me think. I had Bridge Street Bar on Sunday 7:30. Bridge Street Bar Saturday 7:30, and then Friday was when we came in. Oh, it's starting to blur together. I did have a spot on Friday, and I'm trying to remember what was the other possible. Oh yeah, no, it was Bridge Street Bar.
Oh,
Bar,
yeah?
and I hosted the
Okay.
5.
Nice. Did you go to any shows? At other venues? Where'd you go? Do you
I went
remember
to
any?
Aviator Nation, which was super cool.
Describe that.
Oh, Aviator Nation is
Like as a comedy venue.
Yeah. So Aviator Nation, really cool clothing store. Like I was hearing about this. Did you know that the wallpaper downstairs is like Versace design or something
No.
like that? Yeah,
I
like,
believe
for-
it though.
for
Everything
real.
is so nice.
The store itself is just like it's a gorgeous like fashion store, like a look that's like it's like that bubble jacket 70s look that's like popularized in like the West Coast and Colorado. And then as a comedy venue is so cool because you have these like old lush couches that people were like sitting on, a stage just kind of like tucked away in the corner with a little spotlight and microphone, and then just everyone just packed all in together with like cool beers from like the sponsors like Vail Brewing Co. and stuff like that. And it was just a vibe. It was a vibe.
Yeah, that's fun. And my favorite part about it was that downstairs, because then like the show's going on and there's like this huge, comfortable green room kind of area where the comics were hanging.
Wait till you see the pictures that Nick took.
Oh.
Dude, I don't know.
Yeah.
When
Nick
you see-
Holmby,
yeah,
incredible photographer,
When you see the
videographer.
pictures that, I don't know if we could like link them in there or something, but he
Yeah.
just took killer pictures.
That's a good idea. I guess look below, look to the sides, look up somewhere. We'll put it in the comments. I
Yeah.
don't know how that works. If you're listening to us right now, just tap your ear twice. Awesome. How was you live in Denver now, originally from Queens, New York. So your travel logistics pretty simple. How do you get up to Vail?
Me, Corey David, another Denver comedian, Austin Black, another Denver comedian, and my roommate Zach all rode up together.
Nice, awesome.
And we're gonna ride back together.
We're
So.
saving some polar bears, carpooling, and was it a pretty ride?
Oh, it's super nice.
Have you been up here before ever? Have you been
I
to
think
Vail?
I've been here once and I stopped. I don't even remember, but it's like kind of vaguely familiar. But
Okay.
now it's so cool because going back and forth between my lodge and stuff like that, like I feel like I know where stuff is.
Yeah.
Like I know where I get coffee. I know, oh, this is where the diner is. That type of stuff.
Nice. Did you go to the little diner?
I went to this
Or-
morning. I went to
Gorsuch.
Gorsuch Ski Cafe.
Very nice. What did you get?
I got my favorite. I got a shot of espresso and a croissant.
Nice. Nice. Very European.
That's me.
Very European.
That's how people
This
describe
is
me all the time.
Vail's very European too. And you walked there from the hotel, I'm guessing?
In the snow.
Yeah. Just
very
beautiful.
European of
Gino
me.
was over there, took good care of you.
Yeah, he did.
I heard. Yeah. He's the best. Hi, Gino. Yeah, Gorsuch Ski Cafe was great. Where else did you go? Like in the mornings?
2 hour coffee.
Nice. 2 arrows. They were
Yeah,
great.
2 hours coffee. I went there almost every day. It feels like. Got the turmeric latte. Fantastic. Turmeric makes me feel like I'm getting something healthier.
Yeah.
Like I would have been like, oh, you're getting a mocha latte, and I was like, turmeric. I was like, all right, I'm doing good.
Nice. Nice. You've been to a lot of festivals, right?
Yeah, a fair amount.
What's one of your favorite things about going to a comedy festival as a comedian?
I think the idea of just like what you can't count on happening. Like, for example, like I was planning a trip to like North Carolina and I wasn't sure what to do, and I was like just talking about it, and another comedian on the festival, EJ, he goes, oh yeah, stay with me. And it's
That's
like,
awesome.
and like so like that like totally cut my bottom line of having to figure out a hotel or Airbnb, or like, and now I know someone in the scene, and it's like there's no way I could have came to this festival and thought, I hope somewhere along the line I could like cut a lodging cost on a future trip, but it just happened.
That's a great story. That's incredible. That's cool. What is one of your least favorite things about comedy festivals, or maybe an experience you had at a comedy festival that maybe wasn't the best, without naming names?
Yeah, I just think no, I'll name names if you want to. No, I just think that sometimes like the bottom line is always like the stage time and the organization of it, right? Like if you go in and like no one knows what's happening, no one knows who's going on stage, the audience isn't there, like it doesn't matter how cool the hangout is or how many like amenities or how many, you know, gift bags or sponsors. It's like what you really want is you want to have high quality stage time.
Did you get that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
100%.
Nice. How about I feel like the organization was a little. There were a couple. Like how much notice did you have that you were hosting?
I found out when I was there.
Yeah. So like maybe an hour at the most.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
that's okay.
yeah.
I mean, like things happen. Nothing's ever perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. That's something we could work on next time for sure. You were a fantastic host.
Thank you.
Your whole car, Austin, Corey, all the Denver hosts were just really terrific, very professional, move things along. Great. Anything surprise you about Vail?
Yeah, I think that so like Vail's kind of like affluent, or Vail is affluent, right? And then there's always this idea of like when there's like a disparity between you and your audience, meaning like, you know, your life experience is very different from there, whether it's white, black, rich, poor, young, old. Whenever there's that huge divide, you always have like a kind of like doubt, like, are they gonna get what I'm saying? Does it make sense to people who are kind of like farther away from my life experience? And then you realize that like good comedy is just good comedy. Good jokes are just good jokes, and everyone wants to laugh at them.
Yeah, I would also say that if you like, there's a perception that Vail is affluent, and that's accurate. You know, the average income very high in Vail, but the audience surprisingly diverse financially. Like if you went around and polled everybody, a lot of working class people in the audience. You know, because there are jobs that have to be done. People have to clean the hotel rooms and bartend and drive the snowplows, etc. So that's something that has surprised me about Vail, and it surprised me. I lived in Vail a long time ago, and I know I always thought I would not like Vail because it would be too snooty.
Yeah.
And then you find out that, you know, like when we were at the bar last night at 1 a.m, you know, everybody there was just, you know, just workers.
Yeah.
You know.
Just hanging out.
Yeah,
Yeah, totally true. I learned that Yeah, I would absolutely come back to Vail too.
Nice, cool. So how long you been doing comedy?
6 years. I'm coming up on 7, my comedy anniversary in like a month or so.
Nice, awesome. When is your anniversary? Because mine's June 15th.
Mine is July 5th.
Okay, pretty close.
So right after July 4th.
Okay.
That's how I
okay.
remember it.
Nice. If you could time travel back and tell yourself one thing when you were getting started in comedy, what would that be?
That's a good question. I would say fail more. I think what I learned is that comedy is paradoxical. Like, the people who fail more often and take bigger risks grow quicker.
Yeah, cool. That's funny. That was kind of the impetus for the festival, because I got kind of bored with running the comedy show, and I mean, it's a lot of work still, but like I know how to do it. There's no real surprises at it, and I was like, well, what can I do that's like harder and more? And I was like, well, I guess I could run a festival. And I like in my head, I was like, no, you can't run a festival. Like, you can't create a festival. I was like, well, if I think I can't do it, why not try it and see what happens? And
I love that moment. I love that moment of doing something that you think you can't do, because then it always just like pushes you to realize, if I can do this thing that I think I can't do, what else could I do?
Yeah. So we've talked a little bit off camera this weekend about the idea of big versus small in comedy festivals. So we sold out the Vail Comedy Festival 2022. Make sure you get your tickets for whatever year you're watching this. VailComedyFestival.com. I've asked so many people this question, I forget what your answer was, so I'll just ask you again. Do you think as the festival progresses over years, should we move to bigger and bigger venues, or should you talked about Bridge Street Bar being, you really like that venue, you liked Aviator Nation.
Yeah.
Does it lose some of the like indie feel? And I really like, I think on the one side, if you stay smaller, the comics are close to the audience. The audience gets to talk to the comics. I was at the George last night, and people are coming up to comics and talking to them and telling them, I like this joke. And if we get, if we go to a 500 person theater or something like that, when we get bigger name comics, maybe they sneak back to their hotel and don't really want to interact with people. It's the cozy festival right now. What do you think?
I think keep it cozy.
Okay.
But there's always a mix. Like when I was at Limestone, they had one, they had these like the Comedy Attic, which is like a comedy club very similar and like space and style to Bridge Street Bar. But then they also had, like, for the really big shows, they used the theater. But it was good because you got both options. So like,
did you get a spot at the theater?
No, I didn't get a spot at the theater, and I'm actually kind of glad.
Okay.
Like, I preferred what I told you. So like, there were some comedians who had spots on like Chad Daniels at the theater, and it was like, there was a lot of people there. But again, it's a theater. They're far away. It's like, it's an enormous theater. So
yeah, for sure. It's funny because there's a 300 person theater at a high school down the road that's gorgeous, and I really wanted it, and I worked with the school for like 6 months and got approval for it, and then they ended up doing construction on the stage once the kids finished school, and so we couldn't have it, and I was disappointed. Like that show last night, the Caitlin Palufo show, would have been at that theater, and now that it happened, like with Caitlin, like literally leaning into the audience, like 6 inches from it. That would have been, like, that show last night was one of the best comedy shows I've ever seen. Oh yeah. Like the headlining set, at least. Yeah. It was incredible. Oh yeah. And that energy wouldn't have been there in a bigger space. So yeah, I think that's right. Cool. What's next for you?
Going home.
Yeah. Get some decent sleep.
Yeah, that's probably it.
Yeah.
Been having some late nights.
You got some other festivals? North Carolina, sounds like.
North Carolina, Madison.
Okay.
Madison Comedy Week.
You have any tips for comics going to festivals?
Like what? In terms of what?
I don't know. Like maybe make sure you talk to other comics.
Yeah. I would say step out of your comfort zone. Like if you're gonna be there, you're gonna, there might be one other person from your city, and it's like very easy to kind of like sit with them, get lunch with them, that type of thing. But I would say, like, they'll be there. So push yourself into uncomfortable situations. Like, a lot of times when people are like, you know, starting their first interaction, wanting to make friends or whatever, there's always like, I guess who's gonna make the first move? And if you make it, then it's easy. Like if you're like just like, hey, can I sit here with you? 9 out of 9 times, people are gonna be like, yeah, sure.
Nice. Did you go to any open mics?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you go to both venues?
Yeah.
Loaded Joe's and Vendettas. What did you think?
Vendettas was really cool. That was like one of the most well-attended open mics, and the space was cool too.
Yeah.
And then Loaded Joe's, I was literally the last person. Like, so it was, and then there was a bunch of kids, so I was like, let me change what I'm gonna say really quick on the fly.
That's a little weird.
But it was fun to get those in. That's something I would like more festivals to do too. Like even if it's like a shitty open mic or just comics, like, you know, at 3 p.m. before all the shows, I think that's cool.
Yeah. I had that experience. I realized at a different festival I went to that open mics at festivals are completely different for the comics. Because in Denver, when we go to the open mics, like I see you go up and I know all your jokes. You know, you're always writing new stuff and you're great at that. But, you know, sometimes you'll do material I've already seen and I kind of, you know, I like to watch you on stage, so maybe I pay attention to you. But some other comics, you know, you know everybody's jokes after a while, and it kind of it's not fun. It's like work almost to go to an open mic and wait around for a while. We go to a festival, and not only are the comics pretty high quality, like the overall quality is much higher. You don't know their jokes, you don't know their material, and they don't know your material. So you can slip in some good things and feel good about yourself, and people will pay attention, and then talk to you afterwards. Be like, oh, I really like what you did with that joke, and have you thought about going in this direction? And so just the paying attention factor is totally different at a festival open mic.
And then it's also fun to see what they do on the showcase versus what they did at the open mic.
Yes.
So it's like, here's what they're working on, here's what they do.
Yeah. And Orrin B., who runs the Mike at Irish Rover showcase at the Mondays, and Charlie Cohen, they did a great job with the open mics. They were staff volunteers, and I just, like, really they volunteered to do that. They were like, hey, can we run the open mic? And I was like, yes, that would be great. And they just, like, it was great because I was literally running across Vail with speaker equipment to set up this one-man show. And they were setting up and making the mic happen. I got there like an hour into the mic, and it was running perfectly.
Where'd you get the idea for an open mic on a comedy festival?
Snow Jam Comedy Festival.
Oh yeah. I was gonna do that one. And then
it was actually at Travis Nye's magic shop. He was the magician. Did you go? Oh yeah, you went to talk about the magic show. First off, let me set it up. Okay, so we had a magician. He came in from out of state. And he did some family-friendly programming. So we had the Rocket Fizz stage over in Lion's Head, free, open to the public, magic shows and some other stuff. And it was super well attended. Like there were like 50, 60 kids there on a Saturday at the 11 a.m. show. And I kept hearing like he was great. He's really good. And then that night, Saturday night, he was doing street magic in the village. I saw him like doing stuff with fire and pretty neat, but I still didn't see him do any magic, but I kept hearing it. Like people were like, man, that magician is crazy good. It's incredible. And then so on Sunday we had a 3:30 magic show, and at Bridge Street Bar, amazing venue, you know, low ceilings, tons of seats, you know, but close, and everybody's packed in, and it's 3:30, and there was one comedian in the audience and nobody else. And so like it was kind of a bummer, and Travis and I were like, well, what do you want to do? And I was like, why don't we wait 15 minutes, see if we can get anybody, and then if nobody shows up, maybe we'll wait 30 minutes, and then we'll just keep shortening the show. And then the volunteers did a great job. They started barking outside, and we just said, hey, come in for free. And eventually we got like 15 people in there, and they did a shortened show. And then you take it from there. What was your experience?
Well, I don't know if I should give away his tricks, but he was a very talented magician. Like, as someone who doesn't really like magic, I never sought it out. I was just like, all right, let's go. Like, he blew me away. Especially the trick that I was a part of,
Yeah. Sammy got up on stage for a trick, and he was like, oh my goodness. I was as surprised as you were.
Yeah.
Like, it
was so good
incredible.
that people were asking me, they were like, were you part of that? Like, did you... And I was like, no.
It was incredible. He was really good. So check out Travis and I on whatever. All right, Sammy, how can people find you?
Oh, you can find me at Bad Boy Anzer. That's on Instagram. That's on Twitter, on TikTok, on Venmo. All the things at Bad Boy Anzer. My website should be coming out pretty soon.
Ooh, nice. What's that going to be?
When's it gonna be?
No. What will the address be? Do you know yet?
Maybe Bad Boy Anzer. But if you find me on any of those social medias, oh, and Anzer's my last name, Anzer.
Nice.
If you find me on any of those, you'll find my website.
Okay.
Check me out on Goodreads.
Oh, nice. Nice. What's a good book people should check out?
Something I read that I just like is A Swim in the Pond in the Rain by George Saunders.
Nice. All right. Closing out on a book recommendation. I love it.
There you go.
All right. VailComedyFestival.com to get more information. I'm not wearing a pass today because the festival ended
That's true.
last night. But every Memorial Day weekend, comics submissions open in November for the festival that happens in May. And it's snowing pretty good now. While we've been sitting here in this weird kitchen thing with beautiful view, it has started picking up. So
Oh, yeah.
we're going to get Sammy on the road back to Denver. Thanks a lot.
See you guys.